Welcome to Why People Don't Set Up Appointments. So I need to kind of have some context to help kind of set this up as we are going to be setting up or crafting our approach for setting up appointments or inviting people to classes. And you'll probably come back to this short training over and over again as you see if in the future your appointment setting kind of dwindles, or if you're having a hard time setting up appointments, that this section will really help you. So first off is, and I want to get this out of the way, is that it's not why people don't set up appointments. It's not because you are the worst ever at doing this. Certainly there will be things that you can improve as you are learning to set up appointments or invite people to classes to get more positive response and more people to do that. Certainly that's what we're going to help you with. It's just not that you're the worst ever. So don't get that in your mind. And then also, if you start seeing yourself having overgeneralizations as far as like, nobody has the money, something like that, where you're overgeneralizing, just know that that's kind of the mental danger zone, and that you probably need to start looking at things a little bit differently. And one way that can help you to look at things differently is that there's this 20-60-20 rule, which basically says that 20% of people are just not going to be interested in essential oils or doTERRA. No matter what you say, they're just not interested. 20% will want to buy essential oils no matter what. It doesn't matter what your approach is, how good your skills are, they just won't, or they will want to buy them. And then 60% is really up to me or up to you. And so this training that we're going to be going through on setting up appointments is really helping you to develop the skills to set up appointments with that 60% of people. And so let's go ahead and get started. The first reason why people don't set up appointments is they're not interested one bit in essential oils. And there's not a whole lot you can do with this as far as getting people to set them up. One thing you might want to think about is just making sure that you have the right target market that you're approaching and that you're talking to about oils. So doTERRA has kind of a certain target market. A lot of times they're women, or they might be moms, certain ages, certain demographics who are highly interested in essential oils once you talk to them about them. And so one of those target markets may not be like single guys who are 20. So if I'm trying to set up an appointment for me personally, with a single guy who's 20, not really going to connect very well and just decrease my chances of setting an appointment with him. The second is that people are very interested in doTERRA and essential oils, and they know that they will buy something, and so they don't want to set up an appointment because they're afraid they will. Maybe they have a habit of overspending. And so with this, what you can do is just help them to know that they can decide if they want to purchase them or not, but you'll help them not to do something unreasonable. Whether they're trying to stay within a budget or just making sure that they're just getting the things that they need, that's one thing that can help you with setting up an appointment with that person who really does want oils. And the third is that some people don't like doing business with people they know. And if this ever comes up, just know the reason is not because of you. It's because of some past experience, some kind of baggage that they have. They've had some negative experience with someone that they knew that they did business with, and it didn't turn out very well. And so what you can do with this is really communicate, and it needs to be with your words, that they can decide for themselves. And if they decide they don't want to buy essential oils, it's no big deal. And that you will show them with your actions that it really was no big deal that they didn't get oils or weren't interested in oils. So that's one thing you can do for that one. Okay, so number 4 is they don't know you set up appointments. So an example of this is I have a lot of friends who sell different things on social media, and they'll say, hey, if you're interested, go ahead and message me. And I don't ever do that, but I don't really understand their process of how it works. And so somebody might be talking to you about essential oils. You might say, yeah, I sell essential oils, but they don't really know what the process is. They don't know that the next step is to set up an appointment with you where you can go over their health goals and the top oils that people like to start with. Like, they don't know that. And so one of the things you can do with that is just making sure that it's clear of what the process is for them. The next thing is that some people don't set up an appointment is because they aren't your neighbor. And so they see you advertise a class and they're like, well, I live too far away. I know when we lived in California, if you were 5 miles away, it was way too far away just because of the traffic and stuff. And so they just assume that they couldn't come or couldn't connect with you. And so unless people are in walking distance of a class, if you're doing a class, or walking distance of where you live, you really need to make it clear that you can do it online, over the phone, or in person, and give them those options. And so generally when you present those options, people are more likely to set up an appointment with you. Okay, the sixth one is that people are busy. Yeah. 75% of people, though, have a blank planner, but they feel overwhelmed and busy, but people always tend to fill up their time with stuff, whether that's important stuff or unimportant stuff. A lot of times you end up filling up your your time during the day with a couple hours on social media or talking to friends or watching some shows on TV. And so the key for this one of people who are busy, which that is all of us, is making sure that you're giving a couple of specific times and finding out with them if there is a scheduling conflict, that they actually have something scheduled at that time. So that's why it's really important to give a couple of times. And in our approach that we're going to be crafting in the next trainings, that all of these things are to come into play so that we're making sure that we're giving out those times. Okay, the seventh reason is that they don't know what the appointment entails. So when you say appointment, that might kind of freak somebody out and think, oh, it's going to be like 4 hours, like Shirley, the last time I met with her was like forever, or that it's super serious. And so it's important to let them know what an appointment is. You might even change that word from appointment to just a chat. And you'll want to tell them that, it takes 20 to 30 minutes and we'll go over your health goals and a little bit about the company and the top 10 essential oils that people like to start with. And so it clarifies for them what that appointment is. And then the last one is that you lack the discipline to set up an appointment. And I know for myself, I have so many examples of this. One example was when I was at a game with one of my kids and ended up getting some essential oils out, and the lady started talking to me about the oils, and she seemed really interested, and so I just started sharing all the stuff about oils and how they're great, and thinking this was a great conversation, and she was asking how much they were, and I was just telling her all this stuff and kind of barfing on her in a sense. And when you're in a game or watch your kid play in their game, they're not completely present, and so she was very distracted, and I'm not quite sure how much she got, but she ended up not, wanting to buy anything. But I never even offered to say, hey, what I usually do is like set up an appointment, and this is the agenda, this is how long it takes, and really set it up in the proper way. And so I just lack the discipline of setting up an appointment instead of giving them too much information on the fly. And that's oftentimes what people will do, is that they try to teach just out and about, once people are interested, instead of having that discipline to set up an appointment or to invite them to a class that's planned. Or if you invite them to a class that's planned and they can't make it, to say, well, that's okay because I do appointments. So hopefully that's helpful for you in this training. Thanks.